Here's what's on aspireTV. A feature preview of HBCU 101.
On today's episode of HBCU 101, we sit down with a Spelman alumna that took her sense of style and mixed it with a little Nike. But before we get to that, let's check out our HBCU news and see what's buzzing our community with Tali Carr.
Okay, Jalil, some big news for HBCU grads. Do you want to help shape the futures of New York City students while gaining transferable skills to jumpstart your career? Well, Success Academy is providing over 20,000 New York City kids a world-class education, including sports and arts programs, for free. Once you're a part of Success Academy, you'll be on an accelerated path to growth, including training and professional development to set you up for success. All degrees are welcome. You can learn more at jobs.successacademies.org. Let's get back now to HBCU 101 with Jalil Thurman.
Thanks, Tali. Now for today's guest, all right, many know her in college for representing her AKA, while many today know her for her amazing sense of style. HBCU 101 would love to welcome Spelman College alumna, owner, founder of the Pivot clothing brand, and a Nike yard runner, Miss Nani Edwards. Nani, what's up?
What's up, Jalil?
What's up with you?
Happy to be here, bro.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yeah.
Now, let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
One thing I really love about your story is that you are a Spell House baby.
Yeah.
Right? Pops went to Morehouse, moms went to Spelman.
Yeah.
So I know growing up, that was crazy.
Yeah.
The energy, the camaraderie, the family that you've always experienced. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about, was Spelman always a choice?
For my mom, yeah, I had no other choice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be real, you know, like I had no idea where I was going to go to college yet.
Okay.
I was immersed early on into the homecomings. That was my earliest memory of like Spelman Morehouse culture.
Okay.
Was going to the homecomings, and my parents would actually be at the president's tent on the hill. So all the kids would just run up and down the hill, don't know what's going on. Yeah. Until I started getting a little older, and I would kind of look and peek over there at the tailgate side and see the street filled with people. And I'm like, what's going on over there? Mm-hmm. Like, I want to see what's over there. So that was kind of like my first earliest memory. And then my mom, she would, introduce me to like all her folks and be like, yes, so people were like, well, where's Nani going to college? And before I could say anything, she's like, well, she has 3 options, Spelman, Spelman, and Spelman. And hearing that from my mom, I kind of get annoyed. Like, oh, Mom, I want to go to USC in LA. I had a partial scholarship to go there. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, that's kind of where my heart was going to be. But she was just laying out the importance of what Spelman would really provide to me, mm-hmm. The sense of family and culture. And she was like, I'm right down the street. I'm from Southwest Atlanta, Zone 4. So I'm just thinking oh, that's worse. Yes. I don't want to be down the street from y'all. But she's like, well, you'll have your car here. Mm-hmm. You'll have access. I know people on campus to make sure that you're comfortable in the experience. And, I was swaying towards it. And then one moment that's I'll never forget is we're coming home from school, and my mom checks the mailbox, and she pulls out this big blue envelope.
Oh, wow.
And before I even realize what's going on, she screams and gets and just starts crying and filled with emotion. And I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? And she was like, it handed it to me. Right. And I kind of figured okay, it's blue, has Spelman on it. I'm like, oh, then did I get in? Yeah. And so I got my acceptance letter. And I think from that moment, I was like, oh, it's actually happening. This could be a real moment for me. And then I went to Spellbound and immediately greeted by so many beautiful, vibrant Black women, just so excited to take me in and take all of us into the community. And I think that was a moment for me, and a lot of my Spelman sisters can attest to that. Yeah. Is Spellbound really persuaded me that this was my home. Yeah. And I was like, there's no other choice about it. And God knows that I made the right decision.
That was it.
Yeah, because look where I am now.
Yeah. And sometimes, it's so funny with parents, right? They always know best, and we always hate to admit it. It's always years later we'll be like, best. You know what?
You right,
Rob. You was right, right. But what it sounds like at Spelman, you really got that sisterhood that we always hear about. and that family that just opened doors to you. And I'm sure your mom crying was like really like for you was like, oh, this really means something to you. And that's amazing. Now, you briefly touched about Spellhouse. Like the homecoming experience. You know, a lot of people, there's always this debate about who's homecoming, what homecoming, but when people do talk about homecoming in Atlanta, it's Spellhouse, hands down. What's so special about it?
Feels like Disney World.
Word.
Like, it's that feeling when you go to Disney World and you just feel like a sense of nostalgia and a sense of like happiness. Like, that's how it feels going to Spellhouse Homecoming. I mean, you know, we are two large schools, small schools, you know, combined together, which makes it a huge experience from everybody that's been, you know, this is their 20th homecoming, so this is their first homecoming. And you know, it's like one of those moments where you have to like plan to meet up with people ahead, because when you get there, there's no service. It's like who you bump into, who's that magical person you see again. It's like for those 2 seconds, those moments, you really get to embrace them, see them again, hold them, smile, take a pic, and then you move on about your life. And you know, it's a truly a magical experience. You know, my experiences have changed through being on campus, and then obviously being an alum and coming back to feeling like it's homecoming. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, like I said, I'm from Atlanta, born and raised, so I've been going all my life, and so to see the different stages of homecoming, what it means to me to come back, it's getting more precious to me. And I was a Mu Pi stepper, so I was on the step team, and we won our step show.
You was getting crazy.
Oh yeah, so there's so many different moments in like of my memory that I'm like, yeah, this is a place of happiness.
And then as an alum, you come back and you appreciate the time.
Oh yeah.
Because then you realize how precious time really is. And speaking of time, during the pandemic, you created your company because that was probably the most time everybody took a pause. But we'll talk about it after the break. It's Jalil, it's Nani. You all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Watch aspireTV.